There are those who say, how do we answer those who engage in violence? How do we answer those who try to shout down a speaker? And my answer is, don't answer in kind. It's time for the great silent majority just to stand up and be counted.
Nixon promised to represent the silent majority. But the truth was that he was also uncertain, and frightened too, just like them. Nixon had been to see a psychiatrist about his feelings of dread. He told the psychiatrist that when he looked in the mirror in the morning, it was as if there was no one there. He was also suspicious and paranoid. Nixon was convinced that there was a conspiracy by what he called the liberal establishment to destroy him. In 1971, he told his aides to start what he called the enemies list. It included dozens of liberal journalists, academics, and even film stars. Nixon had a tape machine running all the time in the White House, and on it he left a record of this paranoia.
And also, never forget, the press is the enemy. The press is the enemy. The establishment is the enemy. The professors are the enemy. The professors are the enemy. Write that in the blackboard 100 times and never forget it. The establishment is the enemy. The establishment is the enemy.
But Nixon soon found that the chaos created by the Vietnam War was also going to stop him delivering the new stable America that he had promised. The cost of the war was huge, and America was deeply in debt. In 1971, it forced Nixon to give up one of the great symbols of America's global power, the control of all the world's currencies. Ever since the Second World War, the value of all currencies in the world had been fixed to the dollar. They were backed by the gold reserves held in Fort Knox. But then overnight, Nixon let that go. And suddenly, there was no fixed value for any currency anywhere in the world.
What was that mark, John? 838, 843. 838, 43, I can deal with you in sterling mark. And dollars, just a second. Dollars, Chris? 244, 59 the dollar sterling.
There was immediately confusion as banks around the world struggled to come to terms with the new reality. They set up new improvised dealing rooms, buying and selling currencies as minute by minute they went up and down in value. But while Jiang Qing was preoccupied with real enemies, Nixon, sitting next to her, had now become obsessed with plotting to destroy his imaginary enemies. He had set up a conspiracy based in the White House. It was run by a group of ex-intelligence agents, and they were already planning to bug, burgle, and blackmail Nixon's opponents. Behind his smile, he was preoccupied with plotting and scheming. Jiang Qing and Richard Nixon were two of the most powerful people in the world at that moment. But what they shared was a sense that power was now slipping from their grasp. While the new force that Nixon had unleashed, money, was eating away at the idea that there was a fixed, predictable system that any politician could control. Because the bankers had realized that currencies could be traded globally, like any other asset. And what that had created was a fluid, constantly changing reality that no one was fully in control of.
It's right, 35.42 then.
Hello, 35.42. It dropped 100 points. We don't know why. It just dropped 100 points when everything else was staying still.
Right, 30 other way.
30 other way.
Change it.
Change.